October 23rd, 2024 was the last time I talked about V.A Proxy. I've kept up with V.A Proxy as usual, but lately the more clips I saw of the game, the more I thought about the game. Enough for me to draw an OC, but more importantly, the need to talk about those clips. So you know what? I will. Let's see what new things are going to be put in V.A Proxy. Let's start with the non-combat related stuff. We don't get to see a lot of the other areas in V.A Proxy because Pyro Lith wants to keep it mostly under wraps, and I get it. You have to give people something to look forward to, whether it be early access or even the full release, but I did say mostly. What he has shown us so far on Twitter and the Discord has been eye candy. He did show more from the nuclear desert, underground, a city closer to the eye-looking thing in the sky, and just outside of the demo area of the rusty outskirts. Which I do have to add, this is a pretty great screen cap, I have to say. The place I'm most interested in is the underground area, as I do want to know what else is down there as far as NPCs, items, and boss fights alike. The giant fashion robot's pretty sick too. And despite them manhandling you, they are friendly, just so you know. There's also the desert where there are mimic cities, which apparently, when they start moving, that is a sign a nuke is about to go off. Other than that, I haven't seen anything else new with the area. And lastly, there is the city that is closer to the eye, which is where you might find this large robot cat. And it looks cool. And that's all I have to say about it. The kind of feature that I'm holding out for are the different lenses that you can buy serving more of a purpose other than aesthetics. I think it would be cool if you could find optional lore and secret areas when you equip different lenses. And as far as the music goes, nothing has been teased by K, as all he told me is that he has some concepts, but nothing final. Now let's talk about the combat. There's a lot more to analyze here, and I will start with the dash, because this is the third time that he's changed the way the dash works. I do like how fast this dash is, but I did think the slide was funny. The combat beyond the dash did get a major change. According to Pyro Lith, all weapons will have a meter that builds like poison. To make the meter go down, you have to use the charged moves or guard. The weapons all have separate meters. Udex Judgment and Usurper use red energy, while Udex Loyalty and Duty use white energy. This system mechanic will be a balanced tool. Beginners are taught to not spam, while advanced players will use the meter to their advantage, as they will have access to more powerful attacks the more percentage they have. With that in mind, when the player hits 100%, they will take damage. According to the developer, the inspiration for this change came from the style meters being useless in hack-and-slash games. The exact mechanic he pointed out was the quadruple S skill in Devil May Cry 5. This skill would allow Dante to go into his ultimate form without a drawn-out cutscene. This mechanic is also lore accurate to S units, as they are the glass cannon archetypes, having emissions from weapons, putting them at risk at all times. These changes on paper sound absolutely fascinating. In my own gameplay, I found myself using one weapon for the most part, only switching to the other when I felt like it. I consider my go-to setup Udex Duty and Judgment, so if I want to use them properly, I would have to switch back and forth, not only during combat, but probably in the middle of a combo as well, when using them. This mechanic would separate the good players from the great players, another way to have skill expression in V.A Proxy. I guess nothing is stopping the player from using two weapons that share the same energy, but that might be rough for newer players. The only thing I am worried about is how fast the meter goes up, even when you have two different types of weapons equipped. However, I would need to play V.A Proxy with that mechanic in there to have a more educated opinion. Next, let's talk about the weapons, because one of them had some changes I really enjoyed. Out of the four weapons, Udex Judgment seems to be the least changed. Pyro Lith has mentioned, with the way it works, it's the most unique, with this afterimage skill, so I mean it makes sense, right? This means we have Udex Loyalty, Usurper, and Duty. Let's start with Loyalty. As we know, Udex Loyalty along with Usurper were introduced in the version 0.3 for the demo. That spear makes you go airborne quickly, but looking at this new moveset, you can go from the unicycle into using it as a buzzsaw weapon to hit him in the air. The grounded combo is structured differently, with the spear doing a whole lot of spinning. I definitely prefer this over going airborne as quick as I do. I'm not sure if this moveset is only when it's fully upgraded, meaning I would be stuck with this current moveset temporarily, which is fine. But of course, what I see here looks way cooler. Udex Usurper in 0.3 had the grounded combo string take you airborne just like Loyalty, and I personally found it very awkward to use, although I did enjoy the teleport move. Now it seems to start the same, but then it goes into 3 slashes, a charge, and then a really familiar move. In the Steam demo 0.1, Udex Judgment had a move just like this, but now it's on the Usurper, charging into the enemy while pinwheeling, after which you do a series of flips into 2 spins. In the Loyalty clip, I noticed that you can use the pinwheel move in the air. I really like this change. Even looking at it makes it seem so much less awkward to use. I know lore-wise, Usurper and Judgment are tied together, so both of them having the sheath unsheath actions make sense too. So yeah, this is an overall improvement. And now for Udex Duty. This weapon was more basic compared to everything else, regardless of the update. Version 0.3 was nice with Spike Storm and Throw, then completely having a new form in its dagger, which was cool, but I kept thinking about the 0.2 aerial slashes. Honestly, I just miss doing that move. But let's see what Udex Duty has to offer with this new footage. We see a slash into a charged thrust attack, 2 spins with the sword into another thrust. Going airborne, we see blade beams into a downward thrust, back into the air with a normal slash, and a new aerial full bloom move. Sen keeps going a bit longer until the end of the combo, which ends with an explosion. This sword is the one I spent the most time with compared to the other 3, and this is including that really ancient demo. What I see right now is a huge step up from what I was used to. I love what I see. Oh, and also, shoutouts to the cape design. I'm definitely going to be looking for that when I'm able to. Now, there are leftover features in V.A Proxy where I can't talk about them in length, but I still want to mention, and that would be consumables and the bosses. Starting with the former, the flashbang and energy cells were items I just didn't care to use, and apparently Pyro Lith felt the same. He has mentioned that he will shift his focus to side weapons like money, Saint Tether, and now the fishing rod. That said, get ready for fishing. While catching all those fish seems fun, personally I want to be pulled into a secret area or boss, only accessible by fishing. Speaking of which, the bosses that were shown were a flying one, a double boss, one with a red hood, and one with a mace. I don't have much to say about these bosses, besides the one I'm most interested in is the double boss, as it looks incredibly fun to fight. The other ones look fun too, especially the flying one, but I'm definitely biased here. With all that said, I would like to remind you that all of these updates are coming, but not publicly available yet. Even so, consider playing the current 0.3 demo if this is your first time seeing V.A Proxy. If you like it enough, and you have spare cash, you can support Pyro Lith on Patreon. And before you ask, no, I don't know when V.A Proxy is coming out. I just know the game will be in early access when it does. I mean, like, do I look like Pyro Lith to you? Last time I checked, my name was Korthos, a dude that loves talking about video games on the internet. And V.A Proxy just so happens to be one of them. Anyway, I hope people are more excited to play V.A Proxy or just as excited as they were before. I know I'm pretty hyped about it, so let me know what you think. But that's it from me. I will see you in the next one.